welcome. You Wellness Gentle Hatha Yoga Thursday edition. So glad you all are here with me live, and I'm grateful for those that join us later on in the video. My name is Amber, just in case we're not, and we're going to start today seated. So go ahead and you can sit on a block or a blanket. I always just like to remind you, even those that have been practicing with me for years and years and years, just to be mindful of what's happening in your body, because sometimes, we never know. We step wrong or we get out of bed wrong. And so when we sit or stand or move, our body may not feel the same as it did yesterday. So um, just keep that in mind as you make your way down to the floor and into a seat. And throughout our practice today, of course, I always like to remind you to, because that's what yoga is all about, is being mindful in the body and also in our mind with our thoughts as well. So once you find your comfortable seat, I want to invite you to raise the crown of the head to the sky. You're going to soften your tailbone down to the ground. Welcome. And you're just going to relax the shoulders away from the ears. Gentle touch, tuck in of the low belly. Maybe a couple of breaths just to kind of get the belly used to being a little bit wider. And sometimes, when we tend to dive right into the deep breathing, but I want you to take it gradual and just allow the body to get used to that sensation of the deep breath. And then, as always, when we have our exhale become a little bit longer than our inhale, we're saying hello to that parasympathetic nervous system, our good nervous system, and it lets our body be aware that we are indeed safe. And that's a good practice to remember anytime you feel anxiety when you're not on the mat. When you're feeling pressured or when you're feeling hurried, just take a count of 4 in and a count of 6 out. And just do that until your body starts to relax a little. I promise it'll help. So whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and close your eyes down if that feels comfortable. I'm just going to read a little paragraph from Beginner's Guide to the Universe. It's just got some really great stuff in it and little life lessons. By claiming responsibility for all things in your life, you reclaim your power. You no longer believe that others, fate, or a higher power decides what happens to you. You cease being a victim and you begin living on your terms. All dreams come with built in challenges. And if not, you'd already have what you want and there would be no dreaming. One does not exist without the other, but our challenges only reveal themselves once we start moving forward in our dreams. With more critical thinking, you'll see that your challenges show where your thoughts and beliefs need clarity. There are hurdles that perfectly match your evolution at the exact moment you're ready to take the next step. And this is how it works. Your dreams aren't random, they're custom fitted to take you on a journey that will teach you what you want to learn. Maybe not consciously, but effectively. That's the whole point. Your dreams lie beyond your reach so that you will reach. And I love that he says that, if we didn't dream, there wouldn't be anything to like go after. Of course, I'm paraphrasing, but just having an opportunity to look beyond our scope of where we are right here, right now, is just such a lovely way to dive into what our soul and what we want, what we can have, what is out there for us. and everything's a little bit different for everybody else. And our lessons are always a little bit different from person to person that we come in contact with and from situation to situation. And I love how yoga can be such a unique tool to be able to allow us to sit in whatever lesson that may be, whatever dream it is that we are thinking about, and really feel into it. Yoga gives us this unique tool of noticing what's happening in the body. I mean, people, before I started doing yoga, I had no idea what was going on in my body. Um, And once I started listening to it, like a whole new world opened. So I'm so grateful that you're here on your mat today, and that I have no doubt you have dreams and aspirations to go for. And I hope that our practice together is a tool that helps you gain a little bit more clarity on whatever that might be. And with that, I want to invite you to bring your palms together at heart space, or you may set them open, palms up towards the sky, and just allow yourself a couple of breaths here and draw in an intention from your heart space today. It doesn't have to be complicated, just something that gives you something to look forward to, not a goal, a little something that makes your heart a little fuller. And then the beautiful things about our intention is that we can just let them go. And then we just kind of allow life to happen. And if it's meant to be, it'll put it in place. We got to watch for those synchronicities. So when you're ready, you're going to take a nice deep breath in, and we're going to draw the hands above the head. Fingers are going to be nice and splayed, little starfish hands. You can open and close. Your eyes can still be closed if that feels comfortable to you. And when we keep our eyes closed, we can tune in a little bit more to what's going on the inner aspect of ourselves. So I can feel the muscles in my legs contracting to keep me nice and tall. Feel my belly pulling in just a little bit. I can feel the muscles around my armpits really stretching. And of course, the wrists and the fingertips too. Go ahead and turn those palms away, and nice and slow, if you want, you can rotate the wrist, but we're going to just drop the arms down. And I really want you to feel those shoulder blades dropping into those back pockets, and you just allow your arms to become light as they come on down to the ground. Go ahead and stretch your right hand out just a little bit, fingertips on the ground. We're going to take a big breath in, left arm to the sky. So I'd love to find a little bit of alignment here before we start to really stretch to the right hand side. So lift up through the belly, through the core. So we're going to tuck that belly just a little bit more. You're going to stretch those fingertips out nice and wide. I don't want you to reach that shoulder up. Reach with the fingertips and allow the shoulder to relax. Take a nice deep breath in, breathe up through that left side. And then as you exhale, take a little reach to the right, and maybe your elbow might press in towards your hip or waist. Beautiful. So as we take our next exhale, we're just going to allow the arm to float down in front of us. And you're welcome to turn your chest towards your thigh. And you're just going to come right around to the front. I had a lot of nice pops and cracks happening there. It was really delicious. Left hand reaches out just a little. Let's take a big breath in. Again, we're going to stack for just a moment before we reach. So a little tuck to the tummy. Make sure we just kind of plug that right shoulder down. Fingertips can be spread nice and wide. Take a big breath in and just feel that length through the side body. Breathe out. One more big breath in, and on your exhale, if you're ready, go ahead and stretch to the left. And we want to reach our right hip down to the ground just to offer up a little bit more spaciousness. And then when you're ready, you're going to exhale and float that right arm down in front. If you want, you can really round through that upper back. And then we're going to come forward. So we're going to do that with a flow. Left hand down, breathe the right hand up. Exhale, stretch it out long. Big breath in, and then release it down in front. Plant that left hand, breathe that right hand up. Exhale, stretch it out. Big breath into that side body. Exhale, roll the arm forward and down. Let's do that one more time each side. So it's pretty much 2 breaths each stretch. Exhale, reach, breathe into that side body. And exhale forward. Inhale, right hand up. Exhale, stretch. Inhale. And exhale, rounding down. Beautiful. Nice and tall. Hug into the shoulders. Let the shoulders reach to the ears, and we're going to hug here. Find your breath. We're not holding the breath, but we are hugging shoulders up. Soften those eyes. And then when you're ready, we're going to shift the shoulders and elbows back. So we're opening through the collarbones nice and slow, and release that breath. Very, very slow. Shoulders are coming down, back into center. Let's round them forward just a little bit. And we're going to come up again with a breath. We're going to hold just a few more breaths here. See if you can find that ease in your effort. And then on your next exhale, we start to open through the collar, hug those shoulder blades to the spine, and then roll down. Let's do that one more time. Breathe it in and up. Just like when we squeeze our upper back muscles, this is really squeezing those neck muscles that they hold your head up too on the side. And it's just giving them a little bit of a break. And then on your next exhale, let's open up nice and wide. Ooh, release. Shake it out a little, whatever feels good here. And then we'll get into the back a little bit. Take a couple of more breaths here. And then find a little bit of stillness again. Lengthen head over heart over pelvis. Drop right ear to right shoulder. Couple of options. You can take right hand to the temple and just allow the weight of the hand to rest on the head. If you'd like, you can bring that left arm behind you. It's stretch out just a little bit more. Meet yourself where you are. Just ear to shoulder feels good, then that's where I would really encourage you to stay. Find your breath. If your hand is behind your back, slowly let it release and slowly release the right arm. And we're going to dip our chin down to our chest and really lengthen through the spine. Take a breath here. Go ahead and on an inhale, we're going to roll. Go ahead and take a look from side to side. Bring it back to center. And then when you're ready, go ahead and dip that left ear to left shoulder. And once again, just find what is going to feel really good within your neck here and your shoulders. One more breath. Release the arm from behind the back and relax the other arm, head over heart over pelvis. Let's just look gently from side to side, and you can throw in a little circle or two if that feels good. And then come on back into center. Um, Actually, we're going to take a little stretch forward. I'm going to pop off my block there. We're just going to reach the hands forward. And always a reminder not to move past your edge when you're stretching out your hips. We want your hips to be very well taken care of. So just very slow and mindful. And of course, some of us are a lot more flexible than others. And so it might be a little easier for you to just plop your forearms down to the ground. Just please make sure that there is no discomfort. Go ahead and slide the hands forward a little bit more if you feel you'd like to. Go ahead and walk your hands back. And we're going to take one big breath, fingertips to the sky, and we're going to turn to the left. Take a little stretch here. And remember, we always like more space up through the back. On your next inhale, hands float to the sky, and we exhale to the right. And then just go ahead and relax yourself back into center. And we're going to go ahead and stretch our legs out for just a moment. So point and flex, rotate through your ankles, maybe squeeze in a little bit around your knees. And then we're going to take funny foot forward for just a moment so we can do that forward fold. So whatever leg was in front before, excuse me, take it behind. And then we're going to bring those hands forward. Oh, yeah, you definitely feel it in this hip. And again, we always want to start out low and slow. I should say high and slow. Walking a little bit more forward if your body allows. This is always an opportunity to plant your forearms on top of blocks or a blanket if you need a little extra um, restorative help. Let's take two more breaths. You can relax your shoulders and neck. Perfect. When you're ready, go ahead and walk your hands back. We're going to go ahead and outstretch those legs once again. Remove the little fleshy parts out from the bottom and point and flex through the toes. Rotate the ankle. Always good to give your feet a little bit of love. And so I'd like to give you two opportunities or two choices. You can either, we're going to take another forward fold. You can either stretch, keep your legs stretched out, or if you want, you can bring them into cobbler's pose, which I think I'm going to do today. And I'm also going to use a block because I want to let my head rest on it. So depending on where you are, find your nice tall spine And then on an exhale, you're just going to walk forward a little bit. And I want to encourage you to keep your chest shining forward, your gaze forward. And you're just going to allow yourself to come down any amount here. Just take 3 breaths in this position, and then we're going to relax. So we're drawing our body forward from the hip crease. And on that third exhale, go ahead and relax. And this is where my block is going to come in because I just want to rest my head. Rest my shoulders. I really don't want to be doing any work here at all. Very passive stretch. If your legs are forward, you might be feeling it in the back of the legs, maybe the low back. And if you're in cobbler's pose, you're getting a nice passive stretch through the inner groin and really relaxing those outer hips and still getting a gentle stretch through the back. Let's take 3 more breaths here. And then when you're ready, you're going to bring your palms to the mat. Just let your hands guide you up, a little support. Bring those knees together wherever you are. And we're going to wrap our forearms around the front or anywhere that feels comfortable. And we're just going to take one more little forward dip here with the forehead to the knees. And in this shape, I want to encourage you to relax your back. Relax the shoulders, soften the belly, soften through the legs, the eyes, the jaw. Very slowly on an inhale, start to roll the head up. And we're going to go ahead and come onto hands and knees. Spreading out those fingertips nice and wide, a little bit of extra pressure in the pointer finger and the thumb. And we're going to press gently into our fingertips as well. And elbow pits shining forward, knees under hips, toes behind our knees. Let's go ahead and play with some cat cows, dropping the belly down, lifting the hips. You can feel those sits bones spread, drawing the gaze to the sky, and your shoulder blades are going to drop down the back. And then as you inhale, or I'm sorry, exhale, you're going to hug that low belly in and let that be your anchor. Almost like a thread is pulling that part of your body, and it's going to draw the rest of the back into an arch. Head is relaxed. Breathing in, dropping down. And exhale. Pressing into the palms as you arch your back. And then dropping down. Opening up through the throat and the chest. And then one more time to each side. And exhaling back into neutral spine. We're going to stretch out the right foot. Just find a little rock forward and back, getting a little stretch into your calves, into the toes. And then we're going to pause back into center and lift your right leg with your butt cheeks. And we're going to bring it over to the left. You can imagine your butt's a little crane, and we're dropping some rocks or something off to the left here.
And you can look to your left toes. We're getting a little bit deeper stretch through the right side, pressing into that right heel. So from here, go ahead and kind of rotate the body as you start to turn to the right, and we're going to open up. So we've got a nice big kickstand here with that left leg. Go ahead and rotate that wrist, and the sole of the right foot is pressed down into the ground. On your next exhale, we're just going to slowly bring everything back into center. Take your time. Once you arrive, left foot's going to stretch out. You're going to press into the heel, rock just a little forward and back. So let's go ahead and pause our rocking. Hug into that glute muscle on the left. Lift your tail of rocks and take them over to the right. And you can gaze at your right toes for a little bit deeper stretch. Left hip here. Bring your gaze back to center and start to rotate so you can lift up through the left side of the body. Right foot is planted on the ground, and you've got this really nice kickstand with your right shin. Rotate through that wrist. Did I call it an ankle before? I may have. And then when you're ready, we're going to exhale and come back down. Everything centers. We're going to walk our hips back just a little bit so we can get some space between our palms and our knees. And we're going to drop down into our puppy pose, keeping our hips nice and tall. And if this doesn't feel good, you can drop down to your elbows and just let your head relax. But it feels really good to get a nice little stretch through the sides of the body, through the chest, the armpit. And then from here, widen the palms just a little bit. And you can drop down to the elbows and then roll yourself forward, dropping the pelvis down, coming into Sphinx. Elbows underneath our shoulders, palms still spread out nice and wide. Little pressure into the forearms because we're holding up your upper body here, nice and strong. Shoulders away from the ears. Don't look up, just look forward. Maybe the gaze comes to the top of the mat. And then just lift your right foot. Just a little stretch here through our quad. Your heel's going to come towards your butt. And then release it down. And the same on the left. Little squeeze in the hammy. Release it down. Go ahead and bring both feet up and just give a little wave from side to side. Yeah, nice. And then go ahead and drop down. We're going to drop the chest to the ground, forehead to the floor. Bring those palms beside the chest, hug those elbows back, and we're going to go ahead and come into our baby cobra. So pressing the pubic bone down just a little, hug the upper back together, lift, lift, lift. Big breath in and slowly release down. So the idea of baby cobra is to really strengthen the back. So let's take an inhale, hug those muscles against the spine, and exhale, release. Beautiful. One more time in this position, breathing in and out. And exhale, let it go. We're going to spread our arms out nice and long for just a moment, just to kind of give them a little bit of relaxation here. And then we're going to tend our fingers, elbows up, and we want them directly out from our shoulder blades, or sorry, our shoulders. So we're going to relax the forehead down, and we're going to do our baby cobra again, but this is a little bit different. We're going to imagine that we're drawing a circle with our nose. So we're going to start by lifting the chest, chin to chest, and then as we rise up, our head is going to come up, our chest is going to up, and then we're gonna round down. So it's like a big circle. And then exhale down. Let's do two more. And it may look more like a square. That's totally okay. Last time. Excellent. Take your fingertips towards your toes. Relax your forehead down. Soften your shoulders so you're nice and broad across your back. We're going to zip up from the groin to the toes, the knees, the heels. They're all touching. And we're going to come into locust pose. So it's the same idea, but we're going to lift our booty. Or I'm sorry, we're going to lift our feet with our booties too. Fingers are going to lift and they're going to stretch towards your toes. So when you're ready, hug internally all the way up the spine and then relax it down. You've got it. Inhale, lift. Now, if lifting the feet or the hands will feel better if you just do one, just do that. You've just got one more here, but I'm going to ask you, breathe in, lift to hold. So we're hugging in all the back muscles, the booty muscles. We're still breathing. Our gaze is soft for 5, 4, 3, 2, relax. Bring those palms by the chest, press yourself up. We're going to come into child's pose. Relax all the way back and down, giving your back a little bit of break. Did a lot of upper back work there. So good for posture and balance. Not bad for summer tank top wearing either eventually. Let's take 2 more breaths here. We're breathing into the space at the back of the heart. If you want, you can sigh, make a noise like ah. One more breath. Child's pose is a very humbling pose. We get to bow down and surrender here. When you're ready, let's go ahead and slowly start to make our way back to the center of the mat on our hands, knees. We're going to turn the toes under and we're going to draw our hips up and back. And you can go ahead and walk your dog here for a couple of breaths. And we want to make sure that fingertips are spread nice and wide. And we've got our triceps rolling in towards our nose, making us nice and broad across our shoulders. Let's go ahead and pause the feet. We're going to anchor down that left heel just a little bit and breathe the right foot up to the sky, keeping those hips nice and even. Rotate your ankle for just a moment. And then on an exhale, we're going to draw that leg forward. And you might want to drop one knee down first and then bring that right foot forward. And we're going to come into a little low lunge here. And I'm going to grab my blocks because I do like that space between my thigh and my belly. And so when I'm here, I just want to set myself up for greatness, right? So I want my feet to be wide apart, at least from the toe to the heel. There's a good 5-6 inches in between because we don't want to be on a balance beam. Front knee is above our ankle. And we're pressing through that back heel. We can let our back be nice and straight. We're going to take a twist here. So left hand down to the ground, and let's breathe our right hand up to the sky. That doesn't feel comfortable, go ahead and relax your hand on your hip. And again, we're not reaching through the shoulder. The shoulder is relaxed, but we're reaching through our fingertips. On your next exhale, float your hand down. We're going to drop that back knee, relax the toes, come into our crescent lunge. Grab that left wrist, and as you exhale, just take a little stretch to the right as we get into our hip flexor, stretching the quad nicely. You might notice that your body wiggles a little bit, and you can press into that bottom shin, connect to the sole of the front foot. And then from here, we're going to take a nice deep inhale, lengthen a little bit through the spine, and then exhale, twist to the right. Relax the right hand down, and we're just going to give a nice little stretch to that left side. On your next exhale, bring that left hand down, straighten out, and maybe we reach that right hand out. Beautiful. We're going to take a nice deep inhale. We're going to spin our bodies forward, reaching to the sky. Exhale down to the block or the floor. And we're going to turn the knee or turn the toes under, lift up that back knee. Take a couple of hops into a forward fold. Take a moment to maybe wiggle the hips a little bit, getting a nice little stretch through the hips, through the thighs, side body. Always feels really good to do figure eights in this shape, which once again can kind of feel like little squares. Go ahead and come into stillness. We're going to take an inhale, find our flat back. So bring those palms to the shins, stretch through the crown of the head, stretch through the booty, and then exhale down. Breathing in, take your gaze forward and start to roll yourself up, hugging that back body and the belly, lifting the hands to the sky. Exhale, bring those hands to heart space. We're going to take our weight into our left foot, bending into the knees just a little. And I'm going to turn this way. You stay where you are. And we're just going to find a tree position that feels really good on this side of the body. So you might be here with the heel into the leg, and we're just opening the knee. I'm going to go ahead and come here, foot wrapped around the calf. Now, whenever you get yourself situated and you feel more hugging in that belly, pressing into the sole of the foot, let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and bring those feet back down next to each other. Breathe in, fingertips to the sky. Breathe out, exhale, release, forward fold. Find your inhale, flat back. We're going to come back down to the ground. So go ahead and drop one knee and then the other. We're going to walk ourselves back into the center of the mat. We're going to turn our toes under, lift our booties up, coming into our downward facing dog. Go ahead and wiggle your feet just a little bit one more time here before we start moving into the other side. So let's go ahead and pause those feet. Drop into the right foot this time. Breathe the left leg up nice and tall. Keep those hips even. And then on an exhale, you're going to slide that left foot forward, perhaps dropping the right knee to help you get into position. And then once you find your low lunge, we're just going to pause here for a few moments and just feel into the shape. So we're pressing into that back heel. Front knee is above the ankle. We're really long from the crown of the head all the way to the back heel. Shoulders are away from the ears. Let's go ahead and take that twist. Right hand's going to stay on the floor or your block, and we're going to inhale, open up to the side. Exhale, drop the hands down, drop the knee to the floor, let your toes relax. Come on into your crescent lunge. So we're breathing the fingertips nice and tall to the sky. We're going to clasp that right wrist, and on an exhale, give it a little stretch, lengthening through the quad, our hip flexor,
maybe even a little stretch in the psoas, which is so deep inside the hips. And then when you're ready, staying in this shape, we're going to start to rotate to the left. And we're going to keep the right arm to the sky. Left arm's going to come down, almost like a peaceful warrior here. A lot of work in the legs happening right now and in the core. Go ahead and relax that right hand down to the outer edge of the knee. And if it feels good, extend that left arm. See if you can deepen into the stretch just a little bit more into your twist, dropping the right shoulder away from the ears. Let's go ahead and take an inhale, fingertips to the sky. Exhale, bring those hands back down to the block or the mat. We're going to turn the toes under, lift up that back knee, take a little hop, come into your forward fold. Relax here for just a moment. You can find stillness or you can wiggle those hips a little bit, whatever you like. Breathing in and releasing, letting the day go, letting any issues or thoughts that keep being persistent just roll off your shoulders. Just let that energy dissolve. And then when you're ready, we're going to press into the heels. Take your gaze forward and roll up, fingertips to the sky. Exhale those hands down at heart space. And then we're going to go ahead and do our tree on the right side. So bring the sole of the foot on the right, nice and planted. Once you feel you're in alignment, go ahead and find your tree on this side. And it may be different from your tree that we did on the opposite side. Just remember, we don't always have to do the same. Listening to our body signals here. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Take a moment just to bounce a little bit. I've been doing this for 2 minutes every morning, and it's really, I can't remember what it's called, but it's really good for your fascia. And if you're not familiar with what fascia is, it's like if you imagine a big vase filled with all sorts of rocks, like the fascia, like if you fill it with water, that's going to be your fascia. It literally holds you together. It's like a little suit of fibers. And so sometimes when we get knots in our muscles, that's the fascia like bunching up. So ball therapy is really good, or even like even if you can place your hand on it, the knot for a little bit, and just let the warmth it just melts it away. So this is if you're feeling real tight and tense in your body, plus it just looks silly, just bounce a little bit and that'll help release. Let's just do this for about 30 more seconds. And if you want, you can start to lift your heels. It might feel a little bit different if your knees don't feel that good. You might just stay down and just kind of bounce here, but you can just really allow your arms to play. This could be really good after a walk too, just to or if you're a runner, to really just help relax those muscles. All right, go ahead and wind down, and we're going to make our way back to the front of the mat. So find your mountain pose, relaxing into the soles of the feet, tucking gently into that belly. Nice long line up the back of the spine. Turn your palms forward and close your gaze down for just a couple of breaths.
And just notice what comes up. Notice any sensations, any thoughts, any openness. And then when you're ready, we're going to breathe the hands to the sky. We're going to exhale, float the fingers down. Take a nice deep inhale, flatten your back. Exhale, hands to the ground, drop down to your knees, nice and slow. And we're going to go ahead and roll all the way onto our backs. So once you arrive, we're going to just draw the knees in, give your back a little rock gently from side to side. And then we're going to go ahead and come back into center. Hug that low belly in and hug your knees in just a little bit. Hold those knees there, spread the arms out like a T. Take a nice deep inhale and roll to your left. Really using your core to hold those legs in place. And just find this nice deep twist here. And as always, this is just an invitation. If there's a different supine twist that you enjoy that feels better in your body, I want to encourage you to go ahead and use your power, take your power back, and go ahead and move into that shape if it'll feel better for you. And I really would love for you to just kind of do a scan of your body, just noticing parts that feel good, noticing parts that feel a little tense. And of course, those parts we're going to offer some love to. And the idea in our supine twist is to just really let go. Of course, offering yourself support if your arm or your legs are dangling. If your low back is talking to you, put a block in between your knees. That'll help separate the low back there. Give it a little bit more space. And then when you're ready, we're going to tuck in the belly and we're going to really press into the palms to draw ourselves up. Bring that right foot down to the mat, roll yourself back into center like we always do. We want to really protect that low back. Go ahead and roll from side to side a little bit. And then take pause. Hug in that low belly, draw the knees in just a little bit. With your core, hold those knees there. Open up the arms and then roll to your right. And then you can always keep your arms extended or relax them at your side, different options. Let's take about 3 more breaths, really checking in. When you're ready, connect to your core. Turn those palms over, press into the arms, and very carefully start to maneuver that left leg to the mat. Right leg follows. We're going to bring the soles of the feet to the floor. Bring the arms by your side and take a bridge. So press into the soles of the feet, lifting up any amount that feels good. And then upper back, mid back, low back, tailbone, relax. Let's just do 2 more. Breathing in, lifting the hips, low back, mid back, resting maybe on the upper back and the shoulders. And then opposite as we come down. Once more, full breath in, full breath out. Nice. Go ahead and take just a couple of breaths to find something that feels really good to you. It might be happy baby or just rocking a little bit more, or you might just want to relax your legs down and move right into our final resting pose of Shavasana, the most important shape, the one everybody comes for. Most everybody. And then just go ahead and relax down, soften the eyes. And then quiet yourself down by closing the eyes, softening the jaw. Let your shoulders fall away from the shoulders. Really allow the weight of your body to sink to the earth. When you're ready, you're going to begin to deepen your breath. And just slowly, maybe bring a little smile to the tips of your mouth, corners, and start to point the feet, maybe reaching the hands behind you, taking a big stretch. And one last hug of all the muscles.
And then wherever you are, you can start to make your way back into a seat or resting on one side. And you can bring your palms together at heart space if you'd like. And just for a moment, offer yourself a little bit of gratitude for coming to your mat today, for learning how to tune in to the body, and just bringing a little bit deeper awareness off of your mat today, whether you know it or not. That's exactly what's happening. And I'm so grateful for you being here, sharing this experience with me. Thank you. Namaste.